Hey, Natasha here. In this video, we are going to discuss why the very first hour of your day is the most crucial when it comes to setting yourself up and your business for exponential success. So, the way you start your day matters, and doing it every day. So, if you're a high performer, which likely you are, your goal is to be in your peak performance. So, your morning routine is absolutely key. If you enjoy my content, I invite you to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Fear Chronicles podcast, which is False Evidence Appearing Real, where we talk all things mindset and private practice. So, when I had my private practice, oh my gosh, I really did not have a morning routine. What I would do is I literally spent nearly every waking hour working. So when I would wake up, the first thoughts in my brain were all the things I had to do, things from the day before. And then I would immediately just dive headfirst into all things my business because I always felt like I was behind and there was 10,000 things that needed to happen and everything was on fire and I needed to do it right then and there. And so, and if I wasn't working, even throughout the day, I was thinking about it. I was problem solving things in my head throughout the day, things that hadn't even happened yet. And I was just anticipating. And so it wasn't great. But also, what came of that was I was almost never present. I'd physically be somewhere, but my brain was thinking about a million other things with my business. And so it wasn't great. And so, what I want you to ask yourself is my morning routine really maximizing my energy and setting me up for success? Like, is it keeping my goals top of mind, my vision? Is it clear? Do I feel like I'm able to execute based on how I start my day? So, we're going to dive in a little bit. The first thing before I even touch on the bullet points is I want to talk about one thing that we are not going to do when we wake up in the morning. And I know because I use it for my alarm as well. However, if you use your phone for an alarm, which I'm pretty sure 99% of us do, that is all you can use it for. And what I mean by this is you do not touch your phone. Like when you wake up, you are unplugged, meaning you don't look at anything. You don't check notifications. You're not checking emails. You're not scrolling. How dare you? No, we are not scrolling. We're not doing any of those things because when we do that, the minute we start checking and reading and looking notifications, what could be your watch? Doesn't matter. Don't do it. Then take your watch off. So what we are cultivating here in our morning routine is creativity and being proactive. The minute you touch your phone, you are in a reactive state. So actually, I'm not going to write anything up there because I have a plan and it's going to get way too messy. So no phones. I just want to preface no phones. So the first thing and it does not have to be in this order. This is just a high level overview of ideas to include, but ultimately what I want you to do when you cultivate your morning routine is you want to be using techniques, strategies, things that are important to you and really help set you up for success. Take what resonates, what feels good to you, try some things. You might find, especially, this is a lot of just trying and experimenting what works for you and what feels good to you. And really, you're going to end up customizing something that works beautifully for you. So these are just ideas and kind of like an outline of ideas and areas to include. So I should just say that. Now, the first is a daily intention. So this is your goals, your vision. It can be twofold. It could be for the day, because it's always good to know, what do you want to come of the day? What do you have going on today? What is the best case scenario for the day? Like if everything just went perfectly, what would that look like? And this can be writing it down. So a lot of the things here can be with writing, because really there's nothing that is more creative than putting pen to paper. So, and plus we're not using our phones. So get some paper and get a pen. and write that down. And you could also look at longer term visions for yourself, for your business, for your life, all the things. What does that look like? Write those goals down for yourself. What are your intentions? What are you creating? Right. And then your intentions for the day. So that's kind of what the first piece is. What are your goals, business and personal? Then the next is learning. So I love to incorporate this, and this can be done in so many different ways. And to not get into the weeds about it, I'm just going to give a few examples. So this could be learning more about yourself. So this could also be just straight journaling. This could be like a dump, a creative dump of ideas that you have. Things are in just free writing. This can be actual learning because you're really learning about yourself, because there's a lot of things that come from just writing creatively. And the other piece is actually doing some reading as well, which could involve anything from self-development, philosophy, whatever you're into, but you want to be learning something new that does not involve your phone. So it will likely be some reading of sorts. So you would get some things together, but things that are interests of you or that you want to learn more about. And really, as again, cultivating, because especially when we're not in school anymore and getting a degree, we read less. Let's be honest. I definitely don't read it nearly as much as I did in school because I had to do it, right? So it's really cultivating that piece, learning something new. You also could just journal or script, but I will leave that for another video because scripting is a little bit different, but that is a piece that I use in my morning routine, but I'm not going to get into it in this video. Because the next thing is I wrote visualizing, but this could also be a meditation because this can be either completely separate activities or together, which would be like guided meditations or visualizations or quiet meditation. But pick whatever feels good. Try them all. I think they're great. I go back and forth. Lately, I've been less of the visual and more of the quiet. I definitely do at a minimum 10 minutes a day. Really, especially when you're new to quiet meditation, longer is better to really get to a point where the idea and the concept, the goal is to be present, right? And to quiet your mind, quiet the thoughts, quiet like all the, oh my gosh, I got to do this, I have to do it. Is really to be present in the moment because so much creatively comes out of that and it helps you to regulate your nervous system. There's so many great pieces to it, but those are key pieces that I would suggest incorporating into a good solid morning routine. Then there's movement. Now, the movement can be done in so many ways. If you are a person that needs my heart is racing, I'm sweating, like workout, do that then. If that is a prime time for you, I would say do it then. Other kinds of movement could just be light stretching. It can be a little bit of weightlifting if that's what, a goal of yours is to work on your body. This is again kind of all the spaces here because sometimes I'll do yoga or just light stretching. This could be bar, Pilates, literally just moving your body. And there's a lot of reasons why there's kind of these like categories that I'm talking about that I'm going to attempt not to make this too messy, but kind of explain. And this, I think, is going to help you then with cultivating your own routine because we move our body and we are learning something new and we are creating our vision. These are all pieces. And movement, when we talk about energy, movement, we have stagnant energy that lies in our bodies. And so a way to move energy and move things, especially if we're feeling like not super great, feeling sluggish. There's reasons for that. And moving your body is essential. So when we look at like these daily intentions, what we're creating, I'm going to demolish this guy. This is his brain. That is our mind, right? We're creating our vision. Okay, right? And then learning if he had eyeballs, which he didn't, but he's now going to have eyeballs. Learning, which arguably this is all the things. We're learning with our eyes and our brain, right? It's twofold, right? And then when we're visualizing, that is also our eyes and our brains. I'm hoping this pattern starts to make sense here. And then when we're moving our body. That's all the things, right? So what this is doing, so messy, but follow me here. It's a routine, a ritual of sorts. We think about peak performance, and that is our entire body. That is our mind, our thoughts, and if you're doing any kind of nervous system regulation while you're doing your meditation, or doesn't have to be with, but then regulating our body, and then we are moving our body. So this is all encompassing of our bodies, because that helps to align you to your vision, your goals, and then taking the action. And you get really clear, because nothing that you want is going to happen in the way that you are looking for it to happen if you are not clear. So that involves a clear mind, a clear vision, and then clear action. So my messy arrows for your morning routine, this is why it's so critical. And then a lot of people will say, well, that sounds great. And that sounds like that might take some time. I don't know if I have time for that. This is one I've been on and off really good about. Very simple fix for that is to wake up earlier. Now, to get up earlier means you probably have to go to bed earlier. But if you're really serious about that exponential growth and really bettering yourself and all of the things, it is going to involve really taking care of yourself. You get adequate sleep, means you go to bed earlier, and you're serious, and you come up and you curate this routine for yourself that really puts you in that peak state. Because once you cultivate that routine, everything makes sense. It's clear. You know what to do because your vision is so clear, and your body and your energy and everything's backing you, and you are aligned. You are going to be amazed at the moves that you make, the aligned actions that you take, and the results that you get. And not only that, but you're going to feel better, and you're taking care of yourself, and you understanding what's important to you, and you do the things and you take the action. So that is my very high level overview of why your morning routine is so crucial. And this will help you very, very, very helpful to get you to that next level of that exponential growth in your life, that expanded life, and that scaled business. This is huge because, again, your business is an extension of you, and it all starts with you and your really ridiculously amazing morning routine. So I invite you to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to go further, I invite you to take my 2-minute Are You the Bottleneck quiz to find out who or what is slowing down you in your progress. And I'll see you in my next video.